There it is. How's it going, guys? Bluebeard Gamer here. I'm back. No, I'm not. Let me clarify. I'm not coming back to content creation. I realize that statement may make it seem like I'm returning. No. What this is it's just me making an end of year video. I mentioned in my last video, I believe, the one where I was retiring, that I may make a video every year, every other year, something like that, just as a, here's where I'm at now in the journey that I was talking about, and, you know, just catching up with you guys a little bit. For those of you who have stuck around and are seeing this after a year of me not doing anything, one, why are you still subscribed to me? I appreciate it, but, you know, why? But anyway, yeah, so that's what I decided to do now. This is gonna be pretty scuffed because I just remembered this morning I wanted to do this, and it's when I'm recording this, it's the 28th of December, so I wanted to get this out by the end of the year and just didn't remember to write down a note about it. So I just remembered, oh, yeah, I should probably make this, and I'm not gonna have time any of the upcoming days, so let's do it now. So here we are. I've in class, and just this full disclosure, in classic Bluebeard tradition, I already tried recording this once, but I realized my mic was super quiet, and I had to turn up my computer settings so loud in order to hear it that I realized no one else is going to be able to hear this. I need to re-record it. I finally figured out why my mic was so quiet. So many people have mentioned to me in the past that my mic is quiet. I finally figured out why, and I don't remember ever changing this setting, but it was in there. So hopefully that's fixed. We'll find out after I record this. The last one was 25 minutes, and hopefully this one won't be as long. But another disclosure: I'm just using my camera for this. I'm not using OBS. I'm not editing it. So what you're gonna be getting is just raw, unedited footage, just me sitting here talking. If you don't want to listen to that, you don't have to. You get to leave. But I have to stay here for that long. You guys don't have to. So, you know, it's up to you. But anyway, where do I start? You would think that having recorded this already would mean that I have an idea of where I want to go now. That's not how this works. I still didn't write down an outline for this, so I'm just going to be going completely off the rails, probably, and we'll see what happens. So, at the end of last year, from what I recall, I probably should have watched my old video before doing this, but I think I vaguely remember what I was talking about. From what I recall, I was talking about how the 5 or 6 months that I had been on the self-improvement train had really helped my mental health, my physical health, my emotional health, and that, you know, I was going to keep at it and see where it was going. This is where it was going. I need to work on my ums. I need to just... I'd rather sit here in silence than keep saying ums, so maybe that happens. We'll find out. I can't even cut that out. I can't even cut that out. Jeez. Anyway. Throughout this year, I have continued to work on my physical health, my diet, my exercising, my mental health, my spiritual, emotional health, my relationships, which I didn't think I'd be saying from last year, but that's probably been the biggest change this year, as I'll get to, which shocks even me. And the fruit that I have seen in just 1 year of these decisions I've been making is more than I could have expected, to be honest with you. These are the kinds of things I probably would have set with my low expectations as 3-year goals, maybe. And a lot of them I'm getting 2 in 1 or almost 1, which is pretty crazy to me. There it is. And let me just say for the record, I am not making this video, I'm not saying any of this in an attempt to brag or to boast about what God has given me, because that's not what this is about. This is about me trying to keep in touch with you guys a little bit and hoping that my story of where I was to where I'm going can be some source of inspiration or motivation to at least one person who may be struggling with these things himself or herself. That's why I'm making this. And if it has that effect, then I'm happy. That's all I needed out of this. And if it doesn't, well, you know what? I'll keep making these till it does. But I guess on the topic of what has happened this year for me to be making this video the way I am, because I originally expected to be making a video maybe every 2 years, because at the time I didn't think there would be as much change as there has been. I thought, in order to have enough to make a video on, I will probably need 2 years. Granted, this is a bit of an exception year, for reasons I will go into. It wouldn't always be like this, but I would say there's enough for me to warrant making a video. So here we go. I forgot about this till probably my 4th or 5th thing that I mentioned in my previous video, in my previous attempt at this, which just caused me to break down laughing because it's probably a bigger deal than I gave it credit for. But I did finally graduate college. I got my master's taken care of. For as long as you guys who have been watching these videos have known me, I've basically been in either high school or I've been in college, just doing the school grind. And now I have reached a point in my life where that's no longer the case. I am, I'm shifting to full-time adult mode, 40, 50, 60-hour work weeks. That'll be a blessing. I need to remember that it's a blessing and not a curse. I need to ingrain that a bit more. Just remember that it, cup half full type attitude. And when I graduated high school, I was genuinely emotionally distraught because not because of not because of the people necessarily, but because of the environment. I very much liked school all the way through elementary, middle school, high school, and just the environment I was in, I very much had grown attached to. Safe to say that was not the case for college. I am ready to be done. But I still noticed, having finished college, that I did notice something, and it wasn't an attachment to the college, but it was a sense of uncertainty would be the best way of describing it, I think, in that this way of life that I have known for basically my whole life, as long as I've been in school, it's over now. And there is a new phase coming that I have a little bit of full-time experience, but it's seasonal, so I wouldn't really say that counts. New stage of life that I am not probably prepared for mentally. And yeah, that's just going to require a lot of prayer and preparation. But I sat there thinking, there were a lot of ways this could have gone wrong. If I had kept doing content creation with how bad my senioritis was this year, I genuinely may have done poorly enough in a class to just not be able to graduate at the end of the year. And I don't say that in the sense that my grades were bad, because they weren't. But I noticed, I like to joke I've had senioritis for 5.5 years, because that's how long I've been in college. But the last month of college, it really hit me. I didn't want to do anything. I just wanted to be done. And yeah, I really needed the focus and the discipline of not having this other thing over here to which I could pour my time into, in order to be able to at least, complete my assignments, study for exams at least a little bit, get good grades. And I talked more about college in this attempt than I did in the entire previous attempt, and probably in the last 2 conversations I've had about college to my friends and family. So we're done with that category. But yeah, just in terms of physical and emotional health. I think I'll probably spiritual health, mental health. I'll cover all that stuff next here. I had goals set for myself in the vein of I should make some more friends. I should get plugged in to my local community somewhere. I should improve my strength and my physical endurance. And I had these in my mind as multi-year goals. As an example, a goal I think I had around the beginning of this year or the end of last year was I wanted to reach a 100-second dead hang, which means, grabbing the bar, just hanging from it as long as you can, and, builds grip strength, builds arm strength, that kind of thing. I think around the beginning of this year, I was at 62 seconds, which was, in my mind, was amazing. I didn't expect to hit that part at all. And I thought, man, it's going to take me a couple years probably to be able to work my way up to 100 if I consistently work at it. And just with the improvements I made to my health, in terms of diet and even occasional exercise, I've admittedly fallen off on exercise a little bit. It's something I've been working on trying to get back into, where I'll do it maybe once or twice a week instead of the 5 days a week I was doing it before. But because of the improvements I've made to my diet in particular, I I think a week ago or so, I grabbed the dead hang bar and said, hey, I'm going to try this again. Just try to get back into it, see if I can work my way up to 100 seconds. And, I did my dead hang. My phone timer's on the ground, so I can't see it. I'm thinking, okay, that was probably pretty good. I think I may have gotten to 65 seconds there. I looked down at my phone. It's 88 seconds. Which, that admittedly made my day. I then went and bowled 125, which I've never done that good ever. So apparently that was just an all-star day for me. But I sat there thinking, man, if I had actually been working on this, I probably could have hit 100 this year. And in my mind, I didn't even think that was possible. I thought it was going to be, if I worked at it, maybe in 3 years I hit 100 seconds. But I almost got to it without even really focusing on it. So that was crazy. But I think the biggest areas of improvement for me this year, and the ones that have had the biggest impact on me, have been the friendships I have made and built upon, and just my social connection in general. At the beginning of this year, I had a men's group I went to, and I still love going to it. College has just made it difficult for me to attend it, but I had a men's group I was plugged into, and that was kind of it. I didn't really have a lot of other social connections. I had my best friend, obviously. I don't think we could escape each other even if we tried, so that's just assumed. But yeah, I was just in a spot where I had some connection, but probably not enough. And I thought to myself, you know what? I should probably work on this stuff. See, I prayed about it, did a lot of thinking about it, and just opportunities just popped up, and I said yes to them, and I'm at a spot where I've probably made dozens of friends this year, which is more than I ever probably had at any other point in my life, if I'm going to be honest with you. And I've been able to build on friendships with people I've known for a year or a couple years now, and and I've gotten to the point where, and I never would have thought this was possible because this never was me, but I have gotten to the point where I will sometimes actually reach out to people and just message them, just wanting to talk, say, hey, what's new with you? And I know that may sound self-absorbed or stupid. I don't know how you interpret it. But I have historically been the kind of person who just doesn't reach out and message unless I need something. I'll message, say, hey, do you know da-da-da-da-da-da? And it's just, if someone would reach out and message and talk to me, yeah, I'd talk to them, but I wouldn't initiate conversation unless I needed something. And I know that sounds bad. It probably is a little bit. At least. I'm probably giving myself more credit than I should. But I noticed I actually wanted to start conversations with people this year. And I never thought that was going to be the case. I can't remember the last time I was like that. Maybe when I was 5 or something, back when I was actually social. I don't know what happened, but I've gotten to a point where I'm like that now. I I got plugged into the serve team at my local church, working out in the parking lot, helping people park, pointing people in the right direction, stuff like that. And I really noticed the emotional change this has had on me, because I was serving for Christmas Eve, the busy services, because it's Christmas. That's one of the 2 times of the year where people who don't even go to church will go to church, Christmas and Easter. And it was 50, 60 degrees, not that cold, but it was absolutely pouring. And I didn't have an umbrella. I didn't have a poncho for the first half of it, I guess I would say. Maybe I was just kind of standing there in the rain with a light jacket, not waterproof though. And I never once thought, I don't want to be doing this. The entire time I had a smile on my face, and I 100% meant it. And I don't understand it, because I do like serving people and being a help to people, but I never would have thought that I'd like standing out in the rain and helping people who I will probably not see again. But all of this has just culminated to the spot where on Christmas Eve I noticed when I was helping my family make the Christmas Eve dinner, I was just making jokes, laughing up a storm, talking, initiating conversations with people. When I sat down to eat, I was literally hit in the face with, oh my gosh, I'm so unbelievably happy. And I'm not that I wasn't happy before. This is stuff I've been working on for a while, but this year has just been culminating, I think, to the Lord has blessed me in ways I could not have possibly imagined. And it's just, I wasn't suicidal last year or anything, but I think I was at the stage right before that to where I would have fortnightly bouts of just absolute nihilism, thinking life is meaningless. I don't want to be here. I'm not going to unalive myself, because we're on YouTube. Because that would be me admitting defeat, and I don't like losing. That's literally what I thought, to show you how competitive I am sometimes. But I'm not missing out on anything if something were to happen to me. And looking back, I'm shocked that I would think stuff like that, because now I'm at the point where, because of all these changes I've been making to try to improve my health, I'm at a point in life where I have active desires to go to save up money, go get my own house, to get married and raise a family, and just I have actual goals and ambitions now, and I'm at the point in my life where I can't imagine where I not having them. And I don't think I would have been here if a year and a half ago I didn't make the decision to start focusing more on my spiritual health, on my emotional health, physical health, mental health. And it's just all culminated to now. I would consider dozens of friends, which is more than I've ever had. I'm connected in multiple places. I've done a lot of learning. I think I've listened to something like 50-something thousand minutes of podcasts this year on news, history, economics. I've done a lot of reading. Hang on a second. I've done a lot of reading this year. A couple books I'm working on. I'm working on this one. It's been pretty good. I think I'm maybe a fifth of the way through it. I'm also working on this book. This one's been really good. Just some book recommendations for you guys there. But all of this, I really do think has had a positive impact on me in ways that I can't fully describe now. And I think probably in ways that won't even manifest yet, that will manifest in the future, and I'll have to look back in retrospect and see, wow, this was all building up to this. My best friend and I were out eating a couple weeks ago. It may have been pre-Thanksgiving, actually, or sometime around there. But there was a decent amount of our conversation that was dedicated to just looking back at our lives and seeing how seemingly insignificant events and decisions all built together in a massive web to get us to where we are right here, right now. And it's the kind of thing you can't possibly see until you're on the other side of it. And you look back and you think, wow, look at all this stuff that's happened. I couldn't possibly have seen all this coming, but I can't imagine it not happening now. And I have very high hopes for this upcoming year. It's all in the Lord's hands, obviously. His will, His timing, all that stuff. But I'm hoping to keep at what I've been doing. I'll probably be able to finish the German Duolingo course. I haven't mentioned that yet, but I've done almost the entire German course in Duolingo this year. Whereas in previous years, I had just kind of slacked off because I was just playing video games instead. And this year, I actually fully committed to it. And that's been a major source of happiness for me to be able to see the effects of that, being able to read things in another language that I could never possibly have read before. But I say all of this, I'm going to start wrapping up because it's getting a little long now. It's almost at 25 minutes again. I say all this because I wanted to be able to keep in touch with you guys. I didn't want to come on and say, oh my gosh, my life's amazing, da 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 da, and just brag about it. That's not the spirit of this. Again, this is about, if there's one person out there who is struggling with something emotionally or struggling with something mentally or physically, I want them to be able to see where I've been over the past couple of years and just see the changes, and to be able to realize that I want that person to be able to realize that he or she can also make those changes too. All the person has to do is to, get that social media off the phone, write the stuff down, commit to it, see where you are in a year. And if I can make one person's life better from them watching this, then it was all worth it. I got more out of it than I possibly could have imagined. But yeah, I hope for those of you who listen to this, why? I say it as a joke, but thank you for sitting through this. I'm sure there were things I forgot to cover. Again, I don't have an outline for this. I don't have an editing software, OBS or anything. I'm just recording with my camera. And you know what? You're just going to get raw me, because you don't need any other version of me. You're going to get the me that's here. And I lost my train of thought. As we go into 2024, I have high hopes for what will happen in my life and what will happen in your guys' lives. And I'm hoping next year I'll be able to make another one of these. And I'm hoping that I will be able to have a lot to talk about with you guys as a continuation of my journey here. And if you guys are willing, I hope you'll share with me in the comments or somewhere. If you know me in Discord, you can DM me or something. But just to be able to share with me where your life is going, how you're doing. I'd love to be able to hear about stuff like that. I know I don't come across that way because I'm not very social still, even with all these improvements I've made. But I do like being able to hear about where you guys are at and about the amazing things that are going on with you. So, yeah. Here's to what will probably be a crazy 2024, but hopefully a good 2024. Until next time, guys. This is Bluebeard Gamer signing off for 2023. God bless America.